On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, a jet ski and a super scooter. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch Chair Go, and today, as you can see, Kansas went back into rain mode. It did that yesterday, and it doesn't plan to exit rain mode for a couple of days, like non-stop rain. And I need to go get the new walls for the warehouse, but of course, that needs to be loaded in my truck, and I don't want to get them just soaking wet before they go in, so we're just kind of on hold with that too. So here's my thought. This needs to happen. I need to ride a jet ski on the street, and we've got the super scooter sitting over there. Let's get the scooter running again. It's been 3 years since I bought that thing, and it's time. We didn't have room in the home garage to get this all put together because I figured it's going to take a lot of room. It looks like jet skis are super small, but then you put them in a garage and it takes up like a car's space. So we're going to move all this over to the shop, but first, let's get the scooter going. The scooter needs to be sent out to a motorcycle shop too to have its rear bearings replaced. So, scooter run, move everything to the shop, cut a hole in it, and we'll build the jet ski for the streets. It is wet. Also, I'm gonna send the seat out and have it recovered because it's like super cheap. 75 bucks or something to have it recovered. And yeah, scooter. Remember when I used to come over to this wall and get the keys for cars? Let's see. This one is the scooter. Honda. All right, the flat tire makes it really, really hard to push the super scooter. They're not even that flat. They're not like on the ground or anything, but the back tire, it must be relatively low here, but it's hard to push. That's all I can tell you. And inspection, that's what I needed. This has to get state inspected still, because I never rode it again after I bought it, to get a tag. That's what it needs. It's got insurance on it, but it never got tagged. It was like one of those things you just don't get around to. So it needs the wheel bearing, then I need to take it to the inspection place. Honestly, I could do that today. Maybe I'll get it inspected today because it just has to run. It doesn't have to drive. Well, let's get to it. I've got a new battery for the Helix. It's nasty. I grabbed the grips and that was a little bit of a mistake because they're obviously 3 years of weather sitting on them. All of this stuff needs wiped off really, really well. I'm gonna clean this thing up and let's install a new battery. I bought the battery for this a year ago. I don't give up hope on projects, that's for sure. But sometimes the parts just sit around for a while. This seat picked up years of junk. I'm gonna get this seat cleaned up because I do have to ride it. Maybe to the inspection station or maybe just into the back of the truck and then to the inspection station. Just to note, it only needs inspected because it came from Missouri. If it had a Kansas title, it would never get looked at again. But unfortunately, to title it in Kansas, I have to have the state inspection done, and then you take that paperwork to the tag office, then you get your tag. They just check to see if it has a VIN. All right, I ran inside and grabbed the battery. It's sitting right over there. Now it's time to look up where on earth the Honda Helix battery goes. I would assume it's probably under the seat, but you never know on this thing because the gas is down there, and I forgot what this even is. Ah, coolant, and it's still wild that the scooter has like a glove box. There's the Missouri safety inspection, but you can stash all your paperwork down in those compartments off to the side, which is pretty cool. All the fuses are in there too. And of course it is rear engined like a giant scooter. So you have your gigantic trunk back here that sits right over the engine, and the seat lifts up, I forgot how, to access the engine. It turns out to lift up the seat, you literally just lift up the seat. Oh, the battery! That was pretty easy. All right, let's put a battery in this thing. Okay, it looks like all we need is a 10. Got the ratchet right here. Still got the 8 on it for the Audi ECUs. This battery has been in here for so long. I would assume like way before I owned it. So many, many years for a battery. This thing actually started 2 or 3 years ago, the last time I moved it. Or that might have been 2 years ago. I could never find the wheel bearing parts, so that's the only reason this is going to a local motorcycle shop that said they could do it no problem and cheap. So I was like, you guys can have at it. Chrome battery, you know, that's a good one. So here's a, oh no, I got a chrome battery too. On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we basically learned that chrome batteries aren't chrome, which seems like a huge ripoff to me. But here we have our new, oh no, everything falls, nuts, the battery terminal nuts. If you've never done this before, just slide them in there like that, and they can be flipped for whatever orientation the battery is in. Set the battery in there carefully. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you have to use a screwdriver. I take the screwdriver and lift up the nut. You gotta put something underneath it and then just put the screw back in. So I'm gonna do that. It requires 2 hands and we should be able to try to start this thing. Credit where credit is due. The clock just turned back on because the battery is touching. I haven't tightened it down yet. But the clock on screen on this bike stayed on for like 2 solid years. That is insane. That is basically no battery draw at all. Unbelievable, Honda. I don't know how you made a clock that probably pulls like just no current at all and runs down to 10 volts. I had those things just kind of spun down with my finger. Now it's time to put the torque of hand on there. But anyway, actually the ratchet, obviously, and tighten it down for real. She's on. Now, the real question, the one we're all waiting for. Does it start? Oh, look at that, the lights, everything, it all just came back. This thing is a spaceship, a legit spaceship. All right, I think it has electric choke. Ooh, this battery is too dead, maybe? Do you have to have the brake on? You do. Hold on. I'm gonna hit it with a blip of starting fluid because it should just come right back to life. Got the starting fluid, now we need to pull off this crazy intake plenum. Maybe I can actually just nudge this side over and get the starting fluid into the carb. If the clamp moves. All right, there we go. She loosened up. Come on, girl, big wiggle. Ouch. That hurt, crushed my thumb. Here we go. That's what she asked for. Come on, I know you got it. It wants to live! And live you shall. That's what it takes to bring a Honda back to life. Not all that usual stuff I work on where I'm like, this will be easy, and it takes like 17 hours to come back. I'm gonna put the intake back on, let's go ride it. Rain will not stop me from enjoying the goodness that is Helix. I'm taking it out. Oh yeah. You can definitely hear that bad bearing. I'm only going around the neighborhood once, this thing's going away. Back inside, that is. This is too much rain. The front tire was the flat one, so we got that fixed. Look at those epic gauges. The couch, baby, the couch. Couch is literally an absolute blast. Foot brake, storage, what a scooter. Well, the Helix is a monster. I am covered in water, but can you guys believe you can have almost the same amount of fun on that bike I paid $650 for as like a $90,000 car? I promise you, like, yeah, I could probably do 200 in that, but 50 in this, you're like, oh, this is crazy. Time to do an oil change, put some Motul in it. I mean, it's all got to be serviced before this happens, and it has to be inspected before I put a jet ski body on it, obviously, because I feel like they won't let me pass the inspection, even though it will meet all the same requirements. Like, this and a jet ski are not that far apart. It looks like a jet ski. The Helix has always had one problem. The old owner told me the turn signals would flash sometimes. I don't think that's true. I'm not sure these turn signals have ever flashed because I pulled off the cover. There's 3 screws, one here, one there, one there. You pull off the entire cover there. They call that the service panel. That's the connector for the flasher. I've done a lot of investigating here, and I don't see a flasher anywhere. Anywhere this connector could reach, at least. I'm going to run to O'Reilly's, and we're just gonna pick up a generic flasher and hack it in there so that this thing will pass its inspection. So let's go! It's always funny hearing the float in the gas tank. No matter what, whenever you move that bike, that happens. Look at that ceramic coating. So much fun. Working at the house, we're at the OG O'Reilly's. What's up?
It runs.
I need a turn signal flasher, Brent.
For what?
You're never gonna find it.
No?
Let's do this. 87 Honda Helix. Uh-huh.
Is it a bike or a scooter?
It's a scooter?
Scooter bike?
Scooter bike? Yeah.
No, probably not.
It's very tricky. CN250. There it is. CN250. Yeah. It's also Helix. And then
exterior lighting. Probably not going to show a flasher for it.
no way. Yeah, this thing's like the rarest flasher of all time.
Shows bulbs, but doesn't show the flasher unit.
It's like this weird Omron thing with these 3 tiny little pins in a row. Super weird. Super weird.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna make one.
Gonna make one.
All right, down the turn signal bulb aisle we go. Our game plan here is to take any normal 2-pin flasher, and this should get it done. We'll just kind of hack together a little harness for it. Okay, my visual estimation here told me this headlight socket would probably work on the flasher, and it absolutely does. So if you guys are stranded somewhere, you need to fix a flasher, that'll get it done. 8582. All right, thanks guys.
Yeah.
So the original flasher, like I was saying, basically doesn't exist anywhere on Earth. There's one used one for sale on eBay, but forget that. I think all we actually have to do here is throw this flasher between red and black. So green is a ground based on the diagram. So we'll just pull the 2 wires off of this, hook them up to red and black, and it should flash. Let's find out. And at the moment, what happens is turn on the turn signal, the light shuts off. Instead of wasting time, we'll skip directly to the testing phase here, which is where we just slide that wire into that. Pick this thing up so it doesn't put pressure on the wire, slide that wire into that, and see if it flashes. It does not. During my testing, I heard a click, and lo and behold, I found the flasher hidden all the way up inside it. It's way in front of the handlebars, and you have to dig pretty deep. So I thought, hey, I'll just decan it and fix it. It's just a relay, right? So typically you just pry the 3 stakes loose where they lock it together and pull the thing out, but they potted this thing. If you look down inside it, you can see the resin. So this will not come out. I could probably smoke it with a heat gun and get it out of there, but yeah, it's not gonna be easy. So instead we're gonna keep going with my old plan and try to get that flasher working as a replacement for this. Luckily they're the same size, so I can use the same rubber holder wherever it went that holds that thing to its little post. There we go. Marvel at my creation. This is a new flasher with a lot of packing tape wrapped around it to shim it so it will fit in the stock bracket and not fall. This actually ended up working very well because the old flasher was quite a bit bigger in diameter. So now I can hook this up and it should flash. Hey! Hey! We got her, boys. I'm gonna crimp some connectors on there, slide it in there, put the thing back on the post and button it up. Crazy expensive rear Honda part? Unnecessary. My favorite part of this install is under the hood, it looks completely stock with just a single modern upgrade, and it's done really well. So, make sure everything's still good. Make sure those pins that I built basically to go into that connector don't fall out. There's one wrap of like 2-inch electrical tape. I got some nice big Scotch electrical tape. Just made one pass with that. And the pins are also insulated from each other. So it should be completely fine. Should go down the road forever like this. Let's go get this thing inspected. Well, tomorrow. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjericho.com where you get cool shirts not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. I'm gonna go ride this. The rain kind of stopped, so this is way more fun now. Don't mind me, just putting some gas in my couch. Gotta
Ride the couch to town.
Fresh gas, BG44K in the tank. That should get this carburetor cleaned out again after all that sitting with ethanol in it. And a trip to the inspection office tomorrow. We're on our way with this bike. Very soon. Jet ski life.